Victor, good morning.
Well, good morning, Ed. How we doing today?
Happy
Yeah.
halfway through November Day.
Yeah,
It's the
okay.
15th, right?
It is the 15th.
That's all I got to
believe.
talk
Yeah,
about.
yeah. We're
So-
almost there for Thanksgiving.
So if you haven't posted yet in the chat, today is National Drummer Day. We want you to post your favorite drummer in the chat. And the bumper music coming in, if you were paying any attention, so like now every day, bands, even these new bands, they all do these drum solos, right?
Yeah.
It's been going on forever. And I see a whole bunch of drummers in the chat.
Yep.
But the original, I guess the origination of the drum solo
Right.
was back in the big band eras. And that song right there was a Benny Goodman song that played coming in, and it was Sing, Sing, Sing. And the very first really drummer that became famous for doing solos was Gene Krupa. And that was Gene Krupa playing the drums in that video.
I believe there was somebody. Was the little drummer boy before Gene Krupa?
But he didn't do a solo. Well, I guess he did do a solo.
Yeah, he did.
He did do a solo.
That's what I
Why
learned
you
in
gotta
school.
ruin the whole vibe here? Who's
That-
Steve Smith from Journey? Travis
Roxanne.
Barker? Oh, look
My
at
girl
Roxanne.
Gallego says Travis Barker. Not
Travis-
a bad choice.
Buddy
And-
Rich. Oh, there's look at Don. He's right in that era with Buddy Rich.
Barry Polk says Nick Cannon from Drumline. All right.
What?
All right. I think I'm gonna let you go with that. Is that that's
doesn't
really
count.
drum? Because you don't have a bass drum. That's only that whole
It's a
thing.
snare, isn't it?
Yeah.
But those things are pretty cool to see.
I don't know.
Who else?
Liked,
And you got Bonham in there, of course. You
yeah.
stole
Did
that
anybody
one.
say Will Ferrell?
No, we got, yeah.
Yeah. Like I.
The
like
Will Ferrell, Chad Smith from Chili Peppers thing?
Yeah.
When they did the drum off, that's classic. If you haven't seen that, YouTube that thing. That'll blow you away. Who else?
Himothy, which is I don't know what that is. Himothy says Sheila E. All right.
There you go.
I think she can actually play drums, not just timbales.
Wasn't she like Prince's drummer?
I don't think she was ever Prince's drummer. She had
No?
her own band. She had her own band.
Okay.
Yeah. Tommy Lee. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
James says Art Blakely. Who's Art Blakely?
I don't know.
Oh, who's band? I see our girl Dawn.
Neil Peart, Def
Marie,
Leppard,
how's it
Rick
going?
Allen. Oh, yeah, these are nice.
By the way,
Stuart Copeland.
Does Dawn Marie look like Tina Fey this morning?
Like Tina Fey?
Yeah, I think she looked like Tina Fey this morning.
She's like,
She
what?
got that Tina Fey look this morning. Thomas Steinke, you're focused, man. I see you focused, man.
I
Clark Kent in the house.
love that San Diego Commercial's in the house as a branch.
Really? Yeah.
San Diego Commercial, you see them all there?
Okay, all
They're giving themselves some love.
Philip Thorne is chilling with his glass of coffee there, just mugging it
Who
up.
else we got?
I appreciate the back. You got the curtains in the background. I love it.
Nice.
Let me see who else is out there. We got Don. Is that Don Agatone?
Yeah.
Don Agatone?
There's Butch.
Where did that name come from? Agatone.
We're going to hear from Butch later. Butch is going to show up on these reports
Yeah,
here.
you have a
Butch,
Butch?
I can't figure out how to pronounce your last name, so I'm just going to call you Butch. So
Derek
we'll
Kennedy,
be good.
Just chilling. I like
As long
it.
as I send you the gift
Keith
card,
Voss
right?
got the nice cropped hair there. I see you, man. Got the shaved on the side.
B.
Get that
Sellers is
aerodynamic
always in the
stuff
house.
going. I used to have a cut just like that, man.
Nice.
And so, yeah, some good people out there.
got a good run going here.
Daryl Smith, I see you in your office.
I love, there are so many people with their cameras on.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm impressed. I think, I don't know if somebody nudged you, but that is super cool that you're all doing that.
I'm
right?
watching Andy Hall just gives us his profile. He's that cool.
Nice.
You only get half my face. I'm Andy Hall.
Nice.
You only get half my face.
Outstanding. We got
All right,
enough
let's
folks
do
on
this.
here. Let's get rolling, right?
Let's roll.
Because we got some
before,
good stuff.
before Dawn yells at us. He goes, yeah. So,
I was going to let that go this broadcast.
okay. I'm not letting
So let's start with commercial sales results for the month of October, halfway through November. And I think if you noticed in the email that I sent out to you, kind of or reminding you of the chat, we had our best overall sales month all year across all the boards. Residential pest control, commercial pest control, and termite-related services, sales. I mean, just outstanding across the board. And not to be outdone, this team, this is our commercial broadcast. We'll get our residential folks on Friday, but this team just had a stellar October, starting with local commercial sales. Local commercial sales in the month of October.
Drum roll?
Drum roll. Yeah.
I tried to work
Maybe we
that
can get
in.
Matt Cameron.
I tried
Nobody
to
even
work
knows
that
who Matt Cameron
Trying
is.
to work it in, man.
I saw how you did that.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
22.6% over and above last year
Nice.
in October. Year to date, we're still pacing through that at almost a 14% year-over-year increase.
Wow.
And Victor, that's 5 years in a row.
Wow.
I'm pretty confident we're going to end the year with a double-digit increase, with 45 days left to go. I have confidence in these folks. They're going to continue to deliver. We're off to a kick-tail start in November. So we're going to deliver for the 5th year in a row a double-digit commercial sales increase across the board for all of Oregon. Outstanding. Outstanding.
Well done. Well done.
Team sales, which we'll talk a little bit after we share some individual results, 4.5% increase over last year in the month of October. You might think, well, that's not a great big number, but we had a monster October last year.
Okay.
So we kind of, sometimes when you get into these budgeting things and these planning things, when you try to overcome that monster sale from last year, it catches up with you.
Gotcha.
But still a 4.5% increase. Sitting national team sales year to date, 16% increase over last year.
Okay.
Just outstanding. So rolling it up all together, total commercial sales, the month of October, a 15% year-over-year increase. Kaboom.
Bam!
Outstanding. Year to date.
We need an effect or something, like a
Yeah, we
horn, or something.
When we record the videos, sometimes Ben
like
puts
drop
that stuff in
confetti
there.
or something.
Well, he did.
Did he?
On the recorded version, it'll end up on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Maybe we'll have Ben put some confetti in there,
Yeah, I think we should.
so we can just explode it,
I'm all
right?
about confetti.
Yeah, if you ever get a gift card from Don, like you open it
Never
up.
got one. I don't think
you never got one.
Never got one. Yeah, but go ahead.
I opened up a card from her one day, and the thing just like exploded with glitter all over. And I went home, and there was glitter all over my clothes, and it was tough to explain to the wife. But I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. And
No, honey. What do you mean?
it was Dawn. It was Dawn. I said it was
that
Dawn.
Didn't help. By the way, saying it was Dawn did not help.
That did not help.
Who's Dawn?
No, so that's the I guess the numbers for the company in
Great
October and
numbers,
year to
by the
date,
way.
just
Great
phenomenal.
Numbers, great numbers.
We always got to convert it to profit, and we had a really strong profit month company wide, and most all the divisions made their profit plan, and I think most every division is on target for making their profit plan for the year. The company's certainly going to make their profit plan. Again, we can kind of predict some of this stuff.
I can tell it was double-digit profit. You know how?
How?
Because you threw two reallys in there. You went really profitable.
Really
Yeah, usually you just
profitable.
go really profitable. That's single digit.
It was a strong month.
Was
It
it?
was a
Okay,
strong
so-
month. So you know who's happy? My boss is
Yeah,
happy. So
Pat's like, yeah.
10 months in, we're slaying it. So again, credit to everything that y'all are doing. This commercial business is the gift that just keeps on giving, right? I mean, it's the most profitable business line we have, and it's the stickiest.
That's
An
amazing.
average commercial customer, Victor, stays with us for 7 years.
Is it that long? Wow.
The residential ones, they can leave, within a year and a half a lot of times when you do the whole
Is that
numbers.
the difference? I didn't know that.
Commercial's sticky, man. It's sticky.
I didn't know that.
So people ask me all the time, would you rather have $100,000 in termite sales or $100,000 in commercial? No
Hang on
question.
with these guys?
Give me the $100,000 in commercial. Absolutely.
7 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you ever calculate customer lifetime value by the chance?
They do that.
Do they?
That's way over my head. That's those smart guys in marketing. They
Okay.
figure all that out.
That'd be interesting to see that.
It's pretty good. Does that help? How
that's-
about that answer? It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. You were so specific, Ed.
Yeah, how about that? So in addition to all these company-wide performances, we had 25, Victor, 25 of our salespeople get paid on $75,000 in October. In October. This used to be a seasonal business. That ship sailed a long time ago. We'll have 25 get paid on 75 in December, I bet you. Should we go show them what happened in October?
Drop the video.
Drop the video.
Drop the video.
West Coast in the house.
I think the West Coast has gotten better since I came on this broadcast because I call the West Coast out a lot and they just step up. I raise the expectation.
Stop.
They step up.
Stop. You realize I got to unpack all this crap you say every broadcast, and I got to defend myself.
Well, I'm actually complimenting the West Coast.
I know, but you didn't have to.
Finally, they come around.
We don't need all the additional commentary. Just say thank you very much.
Well done.
Well
West
done.
Coast.
No, West Coast was strong, man. And somebody even posted in the chat, just outstanding.
So the pack is not a hack. Boom. Go.
Stop.
Okay.
Jim Ross leading the way. multi-President's Club winner, Big Jim, coming out of San
Big
Francisco
Jim.
commercial, $212,000. Just crazy numbers.
That's a beautiful
And
number, man.
Jim Ross is one of them. He's one of them 20% commission cats. So
Is he?
just do the math on that, right? I mean, he's been a star performer for many, many years. He's given us a thumbs up.
Nice.
Thumbs up. Good to see you, Jim.
Got some nice names down here.
Couple more?
Guillermo Dolente.
He's always, I
He's
don't know,
bouncing
is he in the
around all
house
the
in
time,
San
just
Diego
doing
down there?
this all the time.
Always on that
He's
list.
like a
Always
dog
on
with a
that
bone,
list.
man. He's not letting go of this list.
Who else you see?
Eliud. Is that how you pronounce it? Eliud? Eliud Romero.
He's been here a bunch
I'll
of
try to roll that R for him. Is it?
Northern
Wow.
Commercial. He's
Well
been on
done,
there a
man.
bunch. There's Butch. Butch is a new arrival.
Okay. Who's Butch?
I told you.
What's his real name?
I told you I can't pronounce it. Look at
Oh,
his picture.
Elazar Siga.
Yes.
Okay.
It's Butch.
Well, how'd you get to Butch?
That's I called because I couldn't pronounce his name, so I called one of his managers and say, "How do you pronounce his name?" You know, he's from Guam, Victor. He came from Guam. He's only been with us for 6 months.
HR, we have an issue here.
What?
You can't call him Butch because you can't pronounce his name.
Look at his tag on there. He calls himself.
Oh, does he
Butch.
call himself Butch?
Yes, on his screen name.
All right.
Stop.
We have some good names.
But again, 6 months doing this, and he's on that list.
Avery Brewer says Butcher to be correct. He's a butcher.
He's a butcher. And that,
Okay.
again, the old standbys, right? I mean, the
Got some good names
the
on
Jesse
here,
Jollies of the list. I mean, Chris Pierce, the all-time greatest commercial salesman ever, you know, is on the list and participating. Nick Petropoulos is kind of a new name for us.
Okay.
He's in Indiana. So I called Brian Menke to get a little skinny on him and figure out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Solar farms. If you're not chasing solar farms, if you have a solar farm in your turf, you got to chase it. You know, because they get the rodents in them and
Sure.
it screws the whole thing up
Yeah,
and the
chew-
panels go
chew up the
down if
wires
they're
a whole
chewing
bit,
the
yeah.
wires. We have probably sold this year pretty close to $1 million in solar farms around the
Really?
country. You know, they sold. Roxanne and her team sold a whole bunch of them down in South Central. I think out west we've sold a lot in California.
Roxanne agrees with you. Solar farms equal
Yeah,
money.
it's crazy good. So that's what Brian said. I mean, this guy's been knocking down solar farms and just chasing them. There's that one in Indianapolis. I don't know if you've ever flown into the Indianapolis airport. When you fly in there,
Yeah.
they're just like a whole field.
How big was that deal?
That was a combination of a couple.
Hmm.
I don't know for sure. I don't know if Brian's on the call. Maybe he can put on. He was on the earlier one, I think. But I think just that deal alone was like
Yeah.
55,000.
Wow.
55,000. So if you've got a big, a big solar farm, so post it up in there.
So you're saying about $1 million in solar farm revenue?
Yeah.
Is it-
This year.
This year. It sounds low, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
The number itself. There should be more. I mean, there's got to be more than $1 million worth of business.
This is new business. This is new
This is new
business sold
business.
this year.
No, I'm saying there's potential. I mean, there's
Oh
like,
God, it's great.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Go chase it. If
Yeah.
you got one on your turf, go chase it. It's one of those ones that initially you probably think, well, do they need pest control? They need rodent control to protect those units.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah, think about the damage that one little rut can do getting in there and tearing that thing
Yeah.
up. And shutting
That's
down
cool.
the whole grid. Shutting down the whole grid.
Nice. Well done, Jim. From Gordon, let me see.
Who else we got?
Thanks. Michelle with an A, and everyone, great idea to offer Solutions Solar Farm Rodent Program, says Daryl Smith.
Amen.
Andrew says, we can't stop the butcher.
Can't stop the butcher. There you go. There you go.
I love
Hey,
it.
one of
That's
the
a great
cool
name. I don't care. That is a great name. Butcher's better than Butch. Let's just call him the Butcher.
Just telling you what it says.
Elazar the Butcher.
I see
Siga.
Bryson Holland on the call here. He's a new guy out of Nashville.
Who's that?
Bryson Holland. I don't know if he's on
Okay.
your screen yet. He's out of Nashville commercial. My man just landed the Opryland hotel business up there.
Did he?
North of 6 figures worth of business.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
and he
sweet.
keeps adding to it. So I mean, just outstanding. He'll be on the list next month once we get that started.
Sean Wilson says, I'm working on closing an $80,000 account with a large farm in East Texas. Way to go.
Outstanding.
But until the money hits the bank account, it doesn't count.
For us.
Sean's like, wait, support me. I'm good.
Hey, so just a couple things I want to make note of too. The top 3 guys on the list, as you know, we featured Kyle Gurecki and Jack Hudgens in a couple of broadcasts ago, and they landed that big source well sale. They landed that monster source well sale for the city of DeKalb schools, right? So
Right.
that was here locally in Atlanta.
Right.
Approaching now about $700,000. They
Nice.
split the deal. So they've been on the list, you know, there's so much business they couldn't start it all in 1 month. So a lot of the start rolled over. And they've already added like $50,000 more to that sale now.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about that one a little bit. And then one of Jim Ross' sales, he worked with Rick Jordan, another national account manager. You know, Kyle and those guys worked with Deborah Toth, who handles the Sourcewell account. Well, the Omnia account is a very similar thing to Sourcewell that Rick Jordan manages, and he and Jim were able to tag team. I don't know, Jim, put it in the chat. I think it was a San Francisco City College or something. So just put it in the chat, and I think it was like for $150, $150,000 or something. Really? I mean, just
nice.
crazy.
That's a nice deal.
So the message is, if you're not engaged with these national account, these opportunities, particularly these buying groups, right? These buying cooperatives that make it easy for the customers to buy from us without really getting bids oftentimes, you got to get engaged. And to that point, you got an email yesterday that said that the Sourcewell toolkit popped up. Let's go to that slide. This hit your email yesterday. If you remember how we're doing the toolkits for the mosquito sales, how we're doing the toolkits for the fly control, we're making all this kind of just touchy-feely. You can just click on the links. But we've got the Sourcewell thing built now. So if you want to know how to chase Sourcewell, you want to see the endorsement letter for Sourcewell, get onto that site. All you need to do is go into Rollins 1, type Sourcewell toolkit at the top, and this is what pops on your screen. PowerPoint's deck already built, how to hunt it, how to mine it, how to go in and find out what public entities are buying from Sourcewell in my geography. And you get in there and you put zip codes and you put cities in there. It'll pop them all up. It'll pop up the city of Columbus. Go call on the city of Columbus. Hey, I see you're a Sourcewell member. You guys are using the contract. Did you know you could buy your pest control from there as well? Yeah. So I think that's vital that you do that.
I love the way they put this toolkit together, by the way.
Yeah, it's super slick. And again, that's Miriam and her team and Lena and all those guys and gals. I mean,
I love the way they did that.
Just makes it super simple. Before, as you know, chase down all those nuts. You had to go through all this rigmarole to get through that and get after it. But
Roy Gonzalez says, work smarter, not harder. I'm with you on that.
Amen. Anything else?
By the way, so it was San Francisco State University, 157K.
There you go. There you go.
Big money.
Outstanding. Thanks, Jim. I mean, that's just outstanding. Just super cool. Super cool. So, chase the Sourcewell. This is, if you haven't looked at that yet, that hit your inbox yesterday. Again, just jump in, Rollins 1, Sourcewell toolkit, and just get lost in that thing for a while. You're sitting around at night, you're turning off that dang TV because there's nothing on it worth watching. Although, I know there's no Voice fans here, but they changed the rules last night on The Voice. So if anybody saw how they changed the rules, it's like super cool. Put it in the chat. Nobody cares about The Voice.
Ed, I'm just saying, first of all, you tell them not to watch TV, to focus on business. Then you tell them you watch TV and you watch The Voice. You are not setting the example.
Two nights a week, I watch The Voice with my bride. And we drink a little bit of wine. So, yeah.
Anyway.
So,
Marty.
What's that?
Marty?
No. Yeah, so let's get to the content so we get into that. So we love to get feedback from the field, even when it's like Don gave us that said we talk too much.
Yeah.
But what we really want to talk about and focus on, like Marty Cotter, the region manager in Ohio, sent me a question. He sent me an email. He sent me an email last week. And like most emails, I didn't open it up. But the concept here that we want to talk about is, do we text? Do we call? Do we email? Do we send a video introduction? Yeah. What do we do? So Marty kind of triggered Victor and I to kind of put our heads together to talk about how we communicate with people. And I'll give you an example of what happened with Marty. So Marty sent me an email, and I think the world of Marty. He's one of our strongest leaders in this company. I've just been a huge fan of his forever and a day. He sent me an email, and I saw it, and I didn't open it. I said, I'll get to that later, right? So then what Marty did, very smart, like a half hour later, he sent me a text, and it just simply said, I sent you an email.
Did you get the email? Yeah.
I sent you an email. So what did I do then?
You went to see the email.
I opened up the email. So I think that, and Marty's email was really surrounding around, how do we communicate with customers? What's the best approach? How do we do it? Is it multiple stages? And that we're going to get into that content first, but the first thing I want to talk about is the inbound lead, right?
Right.
So we're going to do this in both these commercial broadcasts, and then we'll do them on Friday for the residential. But we don't get a whole bunch of inbound leads as account managers, but we get enough that we got to get them prioritized. Right. So again, we kicked it around. You did a little bit of research. So let's start by focusing on the inbound lead.
Yeah, just how people communicate.
Yeah.
The data is really fascinating. So let's jump into the data real quick. So this is called Speed the Lead. And we looked at some of the data. Look at some of these numbers. Did you know that 78% of customers purchase from the first responders, which means speed the lead.
Amen.
The first person to respond gets the business. Conversion rates are higher 8x higher within the first 5 minutes. That one kind of blew me away.
Yeah.
That's big. And then this next data point's interesting. Responding to leads after 30 minutes, Ed. Look at the decline, 21% less effective.
Yeah.
That's a mind blower to me. And so,
Yeah, the one thing I would say here is that we focus a lot on residential that way.
Right.
But I think the value of a commercial lead that gets to our account managers,
Yep.
we get so few of them, man, that needs to just go to the top of the list.
Right.
I mean, if you, whatever the flow process, and it's different in every branch and every region, which is kind of drives me batty crazy.
Right.
But the minute that you account managers get that lead, get that notification, man, you got to hammer it. I mean, you got to get after it.
Right on it.
Because you got to get right after it. And there may already be some delay that we've created internally, but man, the sooner you can get to that, the better off we're going to be.
I agree.
So that's the first thing on the inbound lead. But then what y'all do the most of, and how you make your real bones here, is by getting creative business, right?
Yep.
You know, if you wait for leads to come around, you're all going to go broke doing this. But you got to go out, you got to hunt, you got to find contacts, and
Right.
when you get that business card,
put the business card back up. I made this business card up just for Ed. This is going to be his second job after he retires from working.
is she put it
Whenever
up?
Stormy decides to put it up.
Stormy,
You
did
know,
she fall
there
asleep?
she
There
goes.
it is.
There she goes.
There
There
she
she goes. Look. There you go.
So
There you go.
I guess I'm going to run a bakery.
Yeah. I figure you can just run a bakery after this, Ed. It's my desire for you. But anyway, you were going to make a point.
So think about this. So whatever tactic you use to get that contact information, right? Maybe you sold a business and you went next door and said, "Hey, Victor, I went next door. They're tickled to death with our service. I'm just kind of curious why we aren't doing business." And they give you the keys to the kingdom. They give you the guy or the gal's business card that's in charge
Right.
of buying pest control, or you get the information from a gatekeeper or whatever. So what do you do with that? And I think that's kind of the premise of what we want to talk about is we got this card
Right.
that's got all this info. We worked
Right.
our tail off to get it. We
Right.
worked our way through all the roadblocks. We got it. How do people communicate these days? Let's talk about the research.
Okay. And so on this, look at these numbers. These numbers are fascinating. On average, the question here is, on average, how many times per day do you check your text messages? And look at these numbers. 20% check 1 to 5 times per day. It's text. 27, 6 to 10 times. 22. I mean, a lot of people are checking their text, Ed.
Yeah.
And I do that. I check my text more than I do my voicemail.
Yep.
And also in my email. And look at this piece of data right here. On average, how many times per day, Ed? How many times per day do you check your email, Ed?
I'm probably on the high side. I know I'm on the high side.
Yeah.
'Cause even though I just told you the story
Yeah.
where I don't check
Right.
it, I get a bunch of them.
Right.
And I think I've shared with a lot of people, if you want to get a hold of me, don't send me an email because
Right.
likely it's going to get buried. Send me a text and tell me
Gotcha.
who you are.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm one of the heavy
Oh,
users
you're on
of
it?
checking email. But I check text way more than I check email.
I'm the same way. So here the data point is 53% of consumers check their text messages 11 times a day or more.
Yeah.
More than half. So people are checking their text, but look at only 29% check their email at the same rate.
Yeah.
Which tells you there's a hierarchy here, right? People
Yeah.
will prioritize text over emails, which is why Marty, who sent you an email, then said, "Hey, here's a text, go check your email."
Yeah.
And by the way, if that's happened to you, put it in the chat.
That what?
That if somebody, you send an email.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have to send a text to tell people to go look at your email.
I think sometimes
happens all the time.
I think sometimes we get, I sent them an email, or I left them a voicemail.
Yeah.
And we think that we're done, you know. And I just remember talking to salespeople and saying, "Well, I left the guy 3 voicemail messages." That doesn't work anymore.
No.
Because quite frankly, do you listen to your voicemail messages?
I cheat.
Yeah.
I use the transcription piece.
Yep. On
I
the
try
iPhone.
not to listen to it. Yeah.
You're looking at it that way.
Yeah, because it pops up right away, and I just look at the transcription.
And thinking about taking it back to this business card. If I called you because I got your business card and my phone number was not in your
I won't
phone,
answer. I won't answer.
you will not answer it. And I would bet that 95% of you out there do not answer calls that
Yeah.
you can't identify who they are.
Correct.
Can't identify who
Yeah,
they are.
let me see who is it. Michael Edwards says texting is the best process initially, followed by email once they respond.
Yeah.
And that's interesting. Should you send email first, then a text to remind them, or send a text to say, "Hey, I'm sending you an email"?
That's one of Marty's questions. So in the chat,
It's interesting.
what would you do if you got that business card? What would you do? So help us out. And I don't know that there's a right answer.
Just put your sequence: text and then email, or email then text, or phone call.
Or phone call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever your sequence is.
Yeah, and it may be different on what you've got, but think about that. What are they going to do? Let's assume that card has their cell phone number on it,
Yeah.
so you can text them.
Right.
And what would you do? So
Jared
pop it in.
said email, then text. So his is
Okay.
DP Orkin says call and text. Drake just says call. He's that confident.
Yep.
Then Gordon Nasser says text, phone call, then email.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody has their sequence. And should we get into his questions? I think it was really interesting, some of the questions he had.
Yeah, let me just tell one
Okay.
more story, and I'll give you one more, well, two things actually. So, talking about email and not responding to email, I got an email from my boss like a week and a half ago, and I clicked on it and I didn't mark it unread, so I should have, I just didn't do it. I just left it there, and so Pat asked me on Monday, he said, "Hey, you never responded to my email," to which I said, "Ruh-roh." And I just told him I got buried, so I didn't respond to it. But then the other thing happened yesterday. Jamie Benton, our director of HR, called me about something. Well, he sent me a text in the morning, and I was driving into work. And my phone, I can't get the voice to text working right now. I've got it. They're working on it. They're trying. So I was driving, so I couldn't text him.
Right.
Now he texted me, so I should have responded in a text.
Right.
So I didn't. I was driving into the office, so I called him, and I left him a voicemail. And then I called him back when I got to where I was going.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said, "Hey, Jamie, I left you a voicemail. Sorry, I was driving." And I told him the whole story. And he said, "What did he say?" He said, "Well, I didn't listen to your voicemail anyway."
Yeah.
So they don't listen. And I very seldom listen to voicemails.
Yeah.
What will you do if somebody leaves you a voicemail?
I like the way you're telling your people. I really listen to voicemails.
Well, I don't.
So yeah,
I
but I do
don't.
the same thing. I do the same thing.
Like I said, I'll scan
Yeah.
it and I'll look at the
Yeah.
script. But what I do most of the time, if the number's identified, I'll just
Yeah.
call you back.
I usually do
You
the
and I
same
do
thing.
that to each other all the time.
We don't
just
even.
call it.
And
Don't
you'll
even leave
say,
messages.
"Victor, did you listen to my voicemail?" No. What'd you say? Right? That whole thing. Yeah.
But think about the auspice and work under the premise that these people don't know you. You're not in their phone,
Yeah.
right? So let's jump into Marty's
Gotcha.
questions, kind of food for thought stuff.
All right. By the way, just a little note.
Yeah, what do we
By
got
the way,
here?
Issa Barrett. I hope you don't send your text this way, but he said text that email F up. That just sounds wrong. The way you wrote that sounds wrong. So let's look at Marty's questions. Here's the questions he had. So from the field, questions from the field. And I like the title of this.
I do.
Questions
So bring
from
'em.
the field.
Bring them. You got something you want us to kick around? Let's do that.
Should we text the customer before calling, after calling?
What do you think? Put it in the chat.
What do you think? Before or after calling? You could just put it in the chat. What do you think?
I guess I would lean, not that my opinion is the right one.
Right.
I would probably call him first and then send him a text.
Okay. We're getting a lot of afters here. A
Yeah.
lot of afters.
There you go. And again, I don't know if there's any right answer.
Yeah.
Before?
I favor after, by the way.
After.
I favor after.
Yeah.
I love doing that. Second question. How about this one?
Before you do that, go
Yes.
back to that slide.
Back one.
Tell them the story about the guy you met at Starbucks and how he texts people.
Oh.
This is super cool.
This
This
is
is
like,
super cool.
It's embarrassingly obvious that I didn't even know this, but so you're all iPhone users, right? That's my understanding. So I was talking about how do you identify yourself when you're sending an email or text message rather to somebody who
somebody
doesn't know you. And he's just like, well, just hit your share contact, Victor. And immediately I'm like, you know how you want to slap your forehead because it's too easy? So for example, if you go into your own personal contact, when you send somebody a text, you can actually hit that share contact button and it sends all your information in there, website, the whole bit. And it's something that I go, oh, that was easy. That was a layup. I never thought about it. Usually I type in, Victor Antonio. This is Victor Antonio. I'm going to go, why do I do that? I said, when I can just share my contact right there and they have it. Yeah.
And popular.
I know. It's just,
and if you got a good picture in your contact,
Yeah.
if you've taken the work to fix your picture and
if you have
put
a
it in
good
there,
picture,
right? Yeah.
that whole thing.
So think about that. But but keep going on that.
How's your contact picture, Ed?
I don't have one.
Okay.
And that's
Good
embarrassing.
enough. Okay. Should we? All right, here you go. Should we email the customer? Do we send a text letting them know we just sent an email? I think we answered that one, right?
That's the Marty thing with me,
Yep.
right? That's the
Yep.
Marty thing with me.
Yep. I always do the email first. Drake Plett said, email is final and last resort. I almost feel defeated when I have to email them. Wow, that's interesting perspective. Love that. How about this one? Should we leave voicemails or just follow up with a text? I always leave a voicemail. I'm default. What are your thoughts?
I think we leave voicemails and we leave scripted, super cool, super topical voicemails, right?
Right.
That stuff we talked about last broadcast. I think if we don't, we're just cheating ourselves out of an opportunity.
Yeah.
But I think that when the current state, I think a lot of our salespeople think if they leave that voicemail, then that's it. Well, where are you at with ABC Company? Well, I left the guy 3 voicemail messages.
Right.
Well, what else did you do?
Right.
Can you text him?
Right.
What are you doing different to add to your game?
Has this happened to you? And I'm sure it has. Like, you ever listen to a voicemail? You know you should respond to the voicemail, but then you get distracted. Or you look at an email, and again, you get distracted.
Yeah.
So, I mean, give me an example.
I mean,
that's happened to me several times.
Yeah, and you forget about it, right? Because it's out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
What if you got that little nudge in there? You build a way to, send them a text. Hey, just circling back, just making sure you got my voicemail.
Yeah.
And then it'll do kind of what it did to me with Marty. Like, I really like Marty.
Right.
And when he sent me the text, I'm like, swizzle sticks. I didn't call. I didn't read his email. So so I felt almost obligated to read it and then call him.
By the way, it's a fascinating way that you put it that way, rather. It's fascinating because when someone sends you a text, there is this sense of obligation.
Yeah.
Let me go look at the thing.
Yeah.
So that's a very powerful way of
and
looking
that
at
whole
it.
thing with the dopamine hit that you get when your text message comes off, right?
Right.
The other thing about texting versus email is email, I got to go cipher through. And if you sent me an email 5 minutes ago, I might have 2 more stacked on top of it.
Yeah.
But if you send me a text, my phone goes off and there's my lovely bride.
Yeah.
And her title in my phone is Sharon, best wife ever. She sent me a text while we're doing this, right?
She did the editing on the phone for you?
Yeah,
or
she
okay.
stole my phone one day and put that in there. So
But like in your case, how many emails do you think you get a day? If you were to kind of finger to the wind.
It's north of 100. So,
North of 100,
yeah,
yeah.
And I'm not playing the swan song,
Yeah.
but I get a bunch of them. So it gets buried. But the text message is the first one that pops.
Yeah.
First one that pops. So
Okay.
I know we're all blending it in, but I think sometimes on the prospecting side, we're not taking advantage of the texting. What else we got?
By the way, I just think Jay Jolly's interesting because he says do a drive-by. So I can just imagine he sends a voicemail, leaves a voicemail, sends you an email, texts you, and then he drives by and says, "Dude,
You're gonna
answer
see
one
me."
of those 3." I love it. I love it.
He'll be going to like his
I
15th
love
President's
it,
Club
man.
here
I
soon,
love it.
so pay attention.
And I think
What else we got?
Well, now
This is important.
So let's look at some of the data. I will close out with this one. Which activities do you engage with most while using your phone? By the way, I should mention, this is less than a year-old data. So it's very valid. Look at that, Ed. The majority of people texting.
Yeah.
It's like everything is changing. And then if you look at, I try to create a little pattern here. Second priority is probably emailing. And then again, you got phone calls. I just thought that data was interesting.
The thing I would mention about that is I think that sometimes, maybe it's just my old mind thinking that way. I think sometimes we get trapped into this way that, just the younger people want to communicate that way. And that's so wrong. I just told you, 64 years old, standing here in front of you. Don't send me an email. Yeah. Don't leave me a voicemail. Text me, right? So I think sometimes we get locked into that thing. I think we got to get away from the generational stuff about this.
I agree.
Because this is the way everybody communicates now.
Well,
Even my dad communicates via text.
And how old is your dad?
91.
There you go. I mean, that answers.
Think about it.
I think I mentioned the report that 7% of B2B decision makers are baby boomers. Only 7%.
Yeah.
Which means, and the majority were millennials.
Yep.
And then I think it was Gen X or Gen Z, one of those alphabets. Yeah. But that was fascinating that only 7% are baby boomers. So everybody's texting. Yeah. Everybody's texting.
And like I said, I think we lull ourselves to sleep by saying, oh, that's the only way I can get a hold of these millennials.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can get a hold of adults.
But it's almost like walkie-talkie. Remember the walkie-talkies back in the day?
Yeah.
Push to talk?
Yeah.
That's what texting reminds me of. People want short bursts of information.
Absolutely.
And the texting just opens that conversation up.
Yeah, so I think kind of wrapping this segment up, if you're out prospecting, you get that business card, don't let it die with an email. Don't let it die with a voicemail. Mixing up the ways that you communicate with them and touch them, and even the timing of it, right? Marty didn't wait till the next day to send me the text. He sent me the text like 30 minutes later.
Yep.
I don't know if he's got the fancy stuff I have on my computer. I can tell if you opened up my email. By the way, I have that. So I know who opens up my emails. But at the end of the day, he didn't wait. He didn't wait till the next day. It was almost like, hey, I got it now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anybody else got any other thoughts on that?
By the way, one of the things we mentioned is that, using BombBomb.
Oh, yeah. Let's
and
talk
using
about
video
that.
messaging, because I think that's also a way of doing that. I did an event for the Tampa Bay Builders Association, and they always use it. That's how they communicate with each other. And I was surprised, not surprised to use it, but how many people responded to the short video burst that I sent them saying, hey, I'm going to be in Tampa. looking forward to meeting with you guys. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just amazing the response.
And I've had a bunch of those come in from professional prospectors trying to sell me stuff, right?
Yep.
Not sell me, but sell the company some
Yep.
stuff, you know, on a business to business kind of form, and they typically have a little bit of humor in them.
Yep.
And they're less than a minute long.
Yep.
So if you've not checked that out, we did a bomb presentation to this group, I think, at one time at one of the RSM meetings. But think about that kind of stuff, just the
Yeah.
different ways that you can touch to create interest.
Yeah. We
Fair
should
enough.
structure one. All right.
You think they were paying attention?
I think they were paying attention. I like to believe they were paying attention because you know what time it is, right,
We're going to
guys?
find out if you were paying
Let's
attention.
find out. All right, here we go. All right, let me go present mode, and here we go full screen. There you go.
It's
All
game
right.
time.
It's money time. All
Game
right,
time.
You know the deal. There's the QR code. All right, scan the QR code, enter your code. Some of you are pros at this already. So you're like, yeah, I got this down. Or if you're looking at it from your browser, do it that way, just on your browser. Again, go to menti.com, and then enter that code as well. Go ahead, we'll wait for the numbers to click up. Okay, we got 18 in the,
Get
18
going.
in the
We
house.
need more than that.
Let's go, let's go.
There, I see him trying to get in.
All right, again.
There's money here. $100 for the winner.
There you go.
And $50 Amazon card for the second place winner. So get busy.
This one's easy money. I think this one's easy money.
I believe it. And we've got a whole bunch of folks in meetings together.
Yep.
So you would think the odds are up for like San
No, you-
Diego commercial,
yeah.
they should win.
Yeah.
Or they could have so much.
They're
they
gonna
could
have so much
dissension.
debate. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
like
gonna
so
have too
much
much
debate. They
debate.
might not be able to answer.
All right, we're up to 68. I'm going to wait to hit maybe 70, 75. Come
you
on,
go.
a few more. We got 72. All right, again, go to menti.com, enter that code 2291982, or if you scan the QR code, you know the deal. If you want to change the name on your avatar, go ahead and do that right now. Cool names are also cool. All right, you guys ready? I'm up to 87. I think I'm going in 5, 4, 92. Let me see if I get to 100. Come on, come on, baby. Come on, 100. 97. We're so close. Here we go. All right, we're jumping in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. All right. You know the deal. Look at all those beautiful avatars. Love it, man. Let's jump into that first question. You know how it works.
Speed to answer.
Speed to answer. Who is? This is a layup. We've mentioned this so many times.
Like the last 4 broadcasts.
We should get 100% on this one. We should get 100%. This is too easy. Too easy.
This
too
is easy money.
Easy money on this one. And how many people figured it out? Ooh, we still got 16 people who are just not in the pack. But you know what? I'm taking that leaderboard. We got Thinky on top, Montana, Tyler Parker, Darren Jardinek. And let's see. And the tote board says, boom, Thinky is hanging in there. All right, next question. You know the deal. Speed to answer, get more points. You know how it works. Come on, Neri Roca, get in there, man. Make some money. Come on now. What percentage of customers purchase from the first responder? Ooh, that was in your notes. So if you were taking, on.
They're going to learn to take notes in
Yeah,
this stuff.
Timothy looks confident. He just has that confident
Was
mustache
he quick on the
look.
trigger?
I think so, man. He just had that certain look going on over it. 36 people got it right. You guys are killing me. Let's look at some numbers again. Who's happening again? Montana's moving up. Thinky's still there. Mario Salerno.
Here we go.
Johnny's number 2. Mario Salerno. Here we go. Number 3. And you know the deal. All right. This was from last month. We call this a sifting question. That means we sift the wheat from the chaff. We're going to see how much wheat we have. Wheat winner. Saft. I don't know. What do you call it? Shaft? The shaft is the shafted. Boom! 34 got it. Oh, let's see. Let's see the numbers here. Let's see the numbers here. Montana's looking good here. Justin Toops, can't think he hold on. Can't think he hold it. Think he can't hold it. Montana moving. This is good. Okay, this is an easy one. This is a layup.
This should be easy.
Everybody can get this. Everybody should get that. Troy Hackman, you better get this one, man. You better be in the game on this one, Troy. Stop messing around. All right, here we go. What percentage of customers check their text messages more than 11 times per day? Derek Kennedy, stop messing around. Get it in there. Get it in there. Boom! Only 31 people, well, not even that, 18 people got it right. My heart is broken at this moment. I don't know if I can be here anymore. I think I'm leaving. Victor has left the studio mentally. Physically, the body is still here. But let's move on because we're trying to get through this thing. All right. This one is another tough question, Ed. The client says, which we discussed last month.
At length. Responses to
At
30 to
length.
35 different things a client could say.
Which of the 7 Ps? The pricing, prospecting, persuasion, product IQ. Oh, this is where we lose half the people. 15 people got it. The majority got it wrong. Let's see who the big dogs are. All right. Can Justin Toops hold on? No, apparently not. Darren Jurdenek, maybe. Montana?
Uh-oh.
2 Montanas. Okay, we'll have to figure that one out.
Ooh.
Darren is saying, yeah. Montana, Justin Toops. Here we go. All right.
Let's see if Jurdenek can hang on. I just sent him a gift card last week. He won last month.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that guy's on it. All right. 2 more questions. Do not give up hope. Do not give up hope. Brand 660 or 680, let's go. Here we go. All right. What percentage of customers check their email less than 10 times a day? Ooh. Bop, bop, bop. 32 got it. No, 11 only got it right.
Ooh,
we're hurting on this one.
Ooh,
oh, my God.
Ooh.
All right. Last
They
question.
must be sending a lot of emails. I think they're getting
All
checked.
right. Jurdenek falls off.
Uh-oh.
Think he's moving up. Sebastian coming from behind. Tyron Parker. Oh, look at that. Still holding out. Okay, last question. Come on, Dr. Centipede. Dawn Marie, I see you. I see you. Dawn Marie, you should nail this one. This is yours. This is just for you. Fast answer. Come on. Come on. I'm begging. Oh,
The drummer.
oh, the drummer question. Oh, the drummer question. By the way, I didn't get this one either, so. All right.
The very first drum solos.
And numbers are in. 12 got Gene Krupa from the broadcast, and drum roll.
Who is
And
the
the
winner?
winner is, can Jurdenek hold on? Can Thinky pull it off? Will Dawn Marie move
go.
to the top? No! There it is.
You know what I did?
Darren, Jurdenek, and Thinky.
You know what I did for these guys when they won last time?
What'd you do?
I sent them their gift cards on Saturday.
Uh-huh.
And I ended up spending more of Pat's money. I said, if you win again, I'll double it.
Are you going to double it?
So for Darren's getting his doubled. I never thought it would happen.
Every
They're gonna
time,
say, "Why did
every
somebody-"
time we can get more money out of Ed's wallet, I am happy. I am happy. Pay that double. 2x that boy.
Darren, you got
2x him.
You got 200 coming.
Yeah.
Who was second place? Because I got to write this down.
Thinky. I don't know who Thinky is.
Thinky, who are you?
Send in
Put it in the
Thinky.
chat, or
Yep.
you won't get your money.
Yep.
Because it took me like forever
Way
to
to
figure
go,
this out.
Darren, man. Darren.
Darren, he must be taking notes.
Yeah. He must be doing
He
something
take
right. Well done,
copious,
man.
copious notes.
Well done. Thank you for
Get
participating.
it in that chat because we shut this thing down as soon as we end.
West Coast.
So
Great
real
job.
quick.
Okay.
Thinky?
No, Clark Ferguson.
Is Thinky?
Me, yeah. He's Clark. He says, me, I was thinking. You're so eloquent in your text. Well done.
Awesome.
Me thinking.
All right, let's get out of
Go,
here.
go ahead.
So just a couple pieces of housekeeping real quick. Commercial account managers, you have this pay plan that dials in your commission rate on your recurring sales for all of 2024 by how you finish December 31st of 23. You know, we bump those increments all the way up to 20% earnings, from 15 all the way to 20. It happens every year that we get an account manager that misses that next ladder step by a $1,000 sale. So I would encourage our sales managers and our account managers, take it upon yourselves to make sure you got this right, because it's got to be started and it's got to be net sales with chargebacks taken away. Not that you have a whole lot on the commercial side. So please focus on that. Don't cheat yourself out of 1% of $400,000 next year. We're talking $4,000 or $5,000 that you'd be cheating yourself out of. So that's the first thing. The other thing, all the sales managers that did such a good job of getting me the information, Victor, last month after the broadcast to get access to the Sales Velocity Academy, those people that you sent me have that. Now, if you sent me your list late, like in November, I've got another piece that we're going to put together for Camille. But here's the issue that happens with our security and our junk file, right? So we have this thing locked down like we're Fort Knox. I don't understand it, but it's not for me to understand. Our security sends all that to junk mail. So check your junk mail regularly, right? Not only for the Victor stuff and the access to the Academy and the passwords, because if your manager got it to us soon and early after the broadcast, you're already in. The ones that have sent them over the last week or so, I'm going to turn that into Camille after we finish Friday's broadcast. So check your junk mail, get signed up, and get that passed through. In addition to it, spamming the Victor emails. I get emails every day, folks, that should not be spammed. And I think you're experiencing that same thing. you got to figure out some sort of rotation to where you're occasionally checking your junk file. I used to use my phone to check it, go into the junk, because there's emails. You're getting emails from customers, if you're not checking that on a regular basis, that are getting spammed out of your control, and you're missing them. So just make it a habit just to jump in there. They've got this thing tightened down so tight that, I mean, hardly anything can get through. So do yourself a favor and make sure you take care of that. And I guess the last thing, my favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. So I guess I would wish you all a happy and safe Thanksgiving. And the reason I'm kind of tied into Thanksgiving, and Seth Godin posts something. He posts a little book on gratitude. It's a gratitude time, and I just love this holiday. I love this holiday.
I enjoy it.
So just be safe out there. Appreciate what you're doing, man. Just keep bringing it. Keep bringing it.
Love it. By the way, Nick Nervick just wants to say, nice haircut, Ed.
Oh man!
Just thought
Every time I get my haircut, you know how much I spent for my haircut? $13.99 at Great Clips. I get the senior discount. And every time I come in, my wife just said, my wife hates my hair. My wife has beautiful hair, and I just don't care about mine, which probably isn't a good thing to say, but at least I got some, Victor, I'll say that. And the other piece is that she comes in, she said, did they have to take it all the way down so you can see your scalp every time? So thanks for shouting that out, Nick. That makes me feel really good.
There you go.
See y'all.
Let's go. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Thank you all.